You know, I really like tea.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to a video on how to play Grand Theft Auto Advance on PC. So I'm currently playing through every title in the Grand Theft Auto series, and I just got to Grand Theft Auto Advance, and this game released on the same day as San Andreas, but only for one system, the Game Boy Advance. So because of that, it's no longer in production today. You can't buy it. If you go to Rockstar Games' website, they just have this one page with very little info and a couple of screenshots. It's definitely an older style GTA game, the overhead 2D-ish sort of look, but it's still one that's part of the series and still one that's hopefully worth playing. I haven't played it yet. I'm going to be streaming it here soon. If you guys want to check that out, I would love to see you there. But let's get into the actual guide. So how do you run this on PC, right? Well, obviously you're going to need an emulator, and for that purpose, I recommend MGBA. There's a couple of Game Boy Advance emulators out there, but this one is great. There's very little setup involved. It runs really, really well. Very little issues. It's great. And they update it pretty often too. So latest stable release anyway is 0.10.0. So we're going to click on that. Couple of different options here. I recommend the 64-bit portable one because it keeps everything in one folder. You don't have to run any installers. You can just move it around wherever you want it. And 64-bit for newer versions of Windows. If you're on 32-bit still, you can use one of these, but who's still on 32-bit? So now that I've downloaded the folder, I've moved over here to my desktop just for demonstration purposes. And it's in this .7z format, which means you're going to need either 7-zip or WinRAR in order to open it. I have WinRAR, so I'm just going to extract it to its own folder. And there you go. I can just delete that. And now we actually have the proper emulator folder. So we'll open this up, and here you go. That's basically all there is to it, not that advanced. You can open it up by double-clicking the executable. And right from the get-go here, there's very little configuration involved. Really, the only change I would recommend is to go to Tools, and then to Settings, and then go to Enhancements. Now, if you have a gaming computer, what you should do here is switch this video renderer over to OpenGL, and then use this high-resolution scale setting to upscale the game's resolution in order to make the textures and the visuals a little bit more crisp. It runs really, really well. I've tried it myself. And it looks a good bit better. Not a ton. It's still a Game Boy Advance game, but pretty sweet, all things considered. So you want to mess around with this, see what's the perfect one for you. For me, I found that 9x is pretty good because I have a 1440p monitor. And if you upscale it times 9, you can see 2160 times 1440. That's pretty darn close. So we're going to hit Apply, which puts it in the background for some reason. And that's about it. Controls. Let's look at controls real quick. So the arrow keys are your directional navigations. Basically, they're mapped to the D-pad. You have Z and X being your A and B buttons, A and S, your little bumper buttons up here, and then backspace and return, or better well known as enter, are your select and start buttons. You can rebind these if you want to, but I found this default configuration is pretty perfect. So, yeah, that's all set up and good to go. So all you need left is to actually get a copy of Grand Theft Auto Advance. You're going to need a ROM for it, which is just a fancy way of saying the disk image for the cartridge. Unfortunately, since the game's no longer in production and you can't buy it in stores, you're going to have to go on eBay or Amazon and find a secondhand copy, pay somewhere between like 40 and 80 bucks for it. And then you're going to have to figure out how to actually rip the ROM off the cartridge and put it on your computer. And I'm not going to go into that in this video. That's far beyond this scope. But unfortunately, that's what you got to do. I mean, it's not like you can just go on to Google and type in GTA Advance ROM download and then click on the first result and just get the game for free. Easily skip all that work in like 2 minutes. No one can do that. No. And even if you could, that'd be bad, right? That'd be like piracy and stealing, and it'd break terms, and no, don't do that. Alrighty, so now that we have our legally acquired copy of Grand Theft Auto Advance, or the ROM of it anyway, ripped into this .gba format, I'm just gonna drag and drop this over here in the emulator folder, and then we're gonna go back to the emulator itself. We're gonna hit File, and then we're gonna hit Load ROM, and we're gonna click on that. And there you go. We'll drag this window over here, and you're probably thinking, Kess, I don't want to play in windowed mode. I want full screen. How do you make it full screen? I'm glad you asked that. It's Alt plus Enter. Well, it's gonna take OBS a moment to catch up. Oh, I'm OBS. I can't catch up to full screen application. Anyway, I'm kidding. I love OBS. All right, press start. So we're gonna hit Enter for this. And now that we're on this menu, you're gonna use the directional keys and X and Z in order to navigate it. X is forward, Z goes back. It's like A and B on a controller, basically. So new game, empty slot. So you wanna put your initials in here, or whatever you want, I guess. I'm just gonna put Kess. So K, E, S. Takes a minute to get to the S. All right, it just throws us right into a mission to begin. The cutscenes in this game are these little 2D screens with some text. You can just skip through this with X, and I'm not gonna read that at the moment because I wanna get right into the game. And again, these little tutorial dialogues that pop up, same deal, you just press X to skip. So in order to walk around, use the directional keys. And it can be a little weird getting used to this at first because it's just like a D-pad. Whatever you click on, he just immediately turns and walks in that direction, but you'll get used to it fairly quickly. In order to get into a vehicle, you're gonna wanna hit A, and still gotta skip through some more cutscene dialogue. You're gonna hit A to get into a vehicle, so A, there you go. And then in order to drive, you're gonna hit X to accelerate. The arrow keys, of course, to turn, and then, whoops, almost hit the cop. And then in order to drive backwards, you hit, of course, Z. And that's basically all there is to it. Oh, there's also a handbrake option, and that is gonna be S. So let's say we're going at a really fast speed. Look how fast I stopped, that was beautiful. So yeah, guys, that's basically what you need to do. Backspace is your weapon swapper. So if I had like a baseball bat or a gun, I needed to switch weapons, I would hit on backspace for that. And then Enter is gonna pull up your menu. And for this, you can go into the options, you can rebind stuff, mess with the camera, look at your stats, check out the mission briefing one more time. You have to hit X when you're on the menu, by the way, don't forget. And then at any time, this is something I love about this game, at any point that you want to, you can hit quit game, and then you can hit save and quit. So even when I'm just in the middle of the road sitting in this car, I can save the game, quit, and then come back later, load from this save, and be at the exact same spot. So I think this is pretty much one of the only GTA games, at least from that time period anyway, that just let you quit and save at any point. So pretty cool feature. So yeah, guys, that is basically all you need to know in order to play Grand Theft Auto Advance on your PC. I hope this video helped you. If it did, please do leave me a like. It would be very helpful. And if you want to connect with some more Grand Theft Auto enthusiasts, check out my Discord server. We have a lot of fun over there. We have game nights, movie nights, we argue. It's like a weird dysfunctional group of friends. So check it out. Anyway, guys, that's all from me for now. Thank you again for watching. Until next time, I've been your host, Kess Gaming. I will see you all at the top.
Mary had a little lamb. She broke its neck and ate it.